Well, we're doing another event thing, and this is what we're seeing as we're coming into the place. Looks pretty busy. Pastor let me know, because he's been in the past, that they do a good deal of business. There's a lot of people.
Take the next right, then turn left.
Shut up, GPS.
Somebody in your path. This is great. Sorry. Well, that's okay. We've been a goofy culture as long as we've been here.
Right? Got people camping. We have people making jewelry, gourds, bones, cane, all sorts of stuff. All of it about primitive skills and primitive tools.
Balls?
Yeah, somebody's carving these balls, globes out of stone, polishing it and everything. That's really pretty. And then here's some more of the raw materials.
This right here's obsidian.
That's the obsidian.
When you flake this, it
Right.
can be sharper than a steel scalpel.
Right, you can do surgery with that.
Wow.
Rocks, and more rocks. Okay, so this is Chick in the Woods, and she does a lot with the leather and the fur and the feathers. Do you hand tan all of this?
My husband and I do, but I'd much rather get down to the making.
Right.
Just stay than just, spend my time tanning.
Right.
So we both know how.
Sure.
Not excellent, but know how. But I want to get to the making of stuff.
Right. Exactly.
We have people send us hides.
Sure.
So I see this bag here, and we go to Ren Fest too, and look around. I tell you what I wish would come back in fashion is like belt bags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a bag about this big that everybody just wears on their belt all the time, and you
Yes.
just like a little mini purse or something.
That's cool.
For
I try
guys
to do
too.
quite a bit of those for guys.
Do ya?
And for young young men.
You keep your stuff in that.
Yeah, I mean, isn't this cool? Right on the side there. Bam.
Yeah.
So you just run your belts right through those.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I have a handful.
I like your shirt. Keep common Viking on.
Thank you.
My husband's a Viking.
I'm not actually a real Viking. I'm all German blood.
I'm trying Irish too, but Beads, nickname, that's my nickname.
He's my Viking.
I'm her Viking warrior.
There you go.
Yeah, this stuff is really forgiving plant hair. It is.
And the piece of leather is protect your leg, right?
Yeah.
So you can.
Kind of pad you a little bit.
Yeah.
Has it been split, you think, for 2 or 3 years? Okay. I had a friend who lives in Louisiana who wanted to make a bow, and he had me send him Osage. I sent him like 3 trunks, and then he split them, and I don't know whatever happened after that.
So you guys are making bows from them?
We're trying. He's doing a good job.
Is there a special time of year that you get the Osage versus another time of year?
I don't think so, as long as we cure it for the 2 to 4 years or so.
Right, get it to dry out?
And we had one guy actually said that he actually would harvest the Osage and then process it green because it was easier
Do this?
to work.
It's
Yeah.
a lot easier to work green. I know that from putting
And
fence
then he would
posts
let it
in.
cure for the 2 to 3 years and then finish it up. But doing the prep work,
I think you're doing it right.
Well, I've heard someone tell me that he cuts his in like January because the sap comes up and it's still...
yeah, this started with a piece about the yay big.
Right.
Yeah.
So all these shavings has been yesterday and today.
Wow.
And do y'all have any purpose to the shavings? Do they get bagged or...
Excellent, tender, you can burn them
Sure.
quite catch a fire
Right.
quite easily. Other than that, I mean, if you would like them, take them.
No, we can't.
I'm always curious about stuff
We
like
had
that.
one guy say that he was collecting them for a lady because they can be used in dyeing.
That makes some sense.
Like a yellow or orange dye.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
That you're
this
dyeing
should,
yourself.
a little bit, but yeah, it supposedly makes some kind of a yellowish dye.
Right. Yeah, that makes a certain amount of sense right there. All right, well,
Other
thanks.
than that, I really can't tell you too much about. I can tell you a little bit about the tree, but
Yeah.
that's about making a bow.
No.
I'm struggling.
Yeah. Justin Williams is a person who runs Sigma 3, top instructor in the nation, and he happened to be here at the time we were here, so Pastor Joe's gonna do a video and get a picture with him.
Of course, my computer's supposed to help us, right?
You just never know what happens at these meetings. It's worth going and seeing if something's going on. Alright, so we are here at Holston Mill, and this is the actual mill building. It's just amazing. Gorgeous, with the wood siding and the tall, narrow windows and stuff. And I've just been told we can go inside, and the mill is actually running right now, so we'll go do that. On the way in, there's these couple of side buildings too, which are really cute. And then the front is just huge. Whoops. Thanks, that's on video, honey. Well,
Human.
there's probably a, what do you call that, a drill or whatever to turn the millstone. And then we're walking up some steps, and this is, what do you think, 12, 15 feet up? The roof. And here we are inside the actual mill.
And it comes out as flour on one side and grits kind of on the other. So I didn't bring any. I'll run it today and see if I can't make some. But it's real cornmeal.
Yep.
We can't sell it for food, but I can't say what's been in it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of raccoons and mice and snakes and all kind of stuff.
You can't sell it today for food, but something happens in this country. Whoever's running this mill is going to be doing good.
Say what we do, we sell it as a souvenir, and I've
By the
cooked with it.
50-pound sack.
When it
Right.
runs a long time, it gets pretty clean.
Sure.
So
Wow.
Excuse me, you guys.
my motor died, didn't it? That sucker.
Come through here and just get pictures of the grinders and the engine and the belt. Huge. And there's the millstones in some kind of operation, grind on each other, and then the meal comes out there. Wow. Look at that belt. It's so big. And then there's another wheel that turns something. If we're lucky, he'll turn it on for us. So here we are on the second floor of the mill. Huge tall ceiling. Some old plows. That looks like another corn bin for keeping stuff in it. What's it say? Case Company scalping chest. So maybe this is where you put corn in and it would take the peel off or something. And then this is obviously some kind of mill machinery with the wheels. Another wheel. And this, I can't even read what it says. Finisher. Size 0. Obviously stuff spilled out the bottom. And then here's a whole nother piece of equipment. I really have no idea what it is, but look at the belt and the wheel. Another one here. They've got boxed in probably so nobody gets caught on the belt. Wow. These mill operations were huge. That might be a hopper. But you definitely could not be lackadaisical up here. You couldn't lose your attention because, man, you get sucked into that and that's the end of you. There's another wheel with the belt. Wow, it's just amazing. So, should the apocalypse come, this thing, I think, works. He said they're not allowed to sell the corn that they grind right now because it's not clean, but this would become the center of the community if the power went out permanently.
The community get together and put stuff where everybody didn't have to have it in their house. They'd go and work together.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
went to an
it's-
exhibition of the sorghum, and it was the same. Like the sorghum field is here, and they've got the whole cooker right there.
Yeah.
So you cut it and grind it there, and then make the sorghum.
I wonder if they did that at Springfield, an old engine show about 2 weeks ago. Their steam engine show there, and I was watching it. I didn't watch any of the cutting and stripping, but they were actually cooking down Saturday. Today I could get away.
Is that out toward the Republic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Republic, yeah.
Yeah, that's been going on a long time. I think they came out here one time, years and years ago. I used to have a steam show. We've had everything here over the years.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, and that belt goes too. And that's your stones in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go crank it up a little bit, but yeah.
And the corn's coming in from,
This machine knocks the kernels off the cob.
okay.
And then the belt takes it upstairs and puts it in a hopper, and we can feed it into this.
Okay.
And it grinds it into that.
All right.
And then this will sort it into cornmeal or grits.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm the kind of person,
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
so the corn does feed down the chute to here, and the millstones grind it, and that big wheel is turning the millstones. He's going to check the engine to see what's going on. I guess, yeah, he's revving up the R, whatever you call the RPMs, to make it go fast enough to grind.
Enough welder to figure all this out, but
This is a Model A Ford.
yeah, we bought it's 1929, and we bought the chassis with the engine,
Right?
and then we cut that off and fixed the pulley on here.
Okay.
So I put it in.
So that's technically like the drive shaft?
Yeah, and you know, in the car you have a U-joint, so
Right.
So you have to stabilize it.
Right, yeah. And it runs off diesel?
Gas.
Regular gas? And could you call that like a 4V, 6V? Is that like a 4V
It is,
engine?
what do they call them? A flathead four? It's 4-cylinder.
Yeah, 4-cylinder. There you go. That's the word. Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you have like a gearbox where you can...
It's got verse, second.
Right?
Got 3
Wow.
gears.
And so that's what's running this mill.
Yeah.
And let's just pretend, and I'm not putting you on the spot. I can't hold you to it anyway. If this were to stop, could you hook like a mule or an oxen to the mill in some way?
We're not rigged up to do that.
This should be running on an engine of some kind then.
Yeah. The way
Okay.
it's set up. You can see all this stuff. They put this in the 80s thinking they were going to have a reservoir out there.
Okay, okay.
But I'm not sure it would work. They never did it. So.
But if they could get a reservoir and some water, the water might be able to...
Yeah,
move it.
You could run it like a couple hours and you'd be out of water. So.
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, thank
But
you.
that's the old turbine down there just sitting there, but that's how it used to run.
Oh, okay, behind it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even notice. Wow, look at the size of that thing, too.
Yeah.
You kind of need a blacksmith, don't you, to kind of whip you
then,
parts.
Somebody rigged this up at some point. That's off an old.
That's a
you know,
tranny, right?
Yeah, off a car. And,
Wow.
So that was all just
Kinda cobbled.
made for this.
Yeah. Wow.
But the engine we used to have was an old stationary. It was probably off a combine or thresh machine or something.
Okay. Well, I like the fact that you guys are able to sort of, well, we need something, let's do it and make it work deal. So I found out from the volunteer historian here that this is a summer kitchen, and this is called the Weir Cabin, and it was brought in from the area. But this was a house that people actually lived in. And they obviously had huge wooden beams that they caulked in between. And that's a table. And look at the floors, huge plank floors. I love them. I love all of it. I love the construction. And then this one, this little summer cabin, you can see this is called dovetail joints right here. And they were cut so that the logs would stay in place and stay tight. And they're sort of three-dimensional if you look at them. And it's a sign of good furniture making too, if that's in the corner of your drawers. And then look at the metal fixtures. You need a blacksmith to make those in your community. That's where they would have been doing the cooking. Probably would have had herbs and things drying from the rafters. Would have the windows open to get some cross breeze in there. And I don't know if this is supposed to be for trash or whatever, but they probably would have had some kind of, they've got the firewood in there, but maybe also some sort of something that would have water, and then probably shelving with canning supplies. So they did a really nice job. I love the architecture, and look at the wood pegs to hold the beams in place. Really neat. So we've walked around, we've seen the mill, we've looked at the different vendors. They're all pretty much centered around primitive skills and knapping. Someone's about to go do atlatl throwing. They had classes here for how to use an atlatl and so on. And again, getting out, learning, doing, seeing, better than just watching a video. But I appreciate you watching the videos too. I'm not trying to say I don't. We had some interesting spiritual experiences here that I won't go into big time, but we did make connection with a couple of believers that was edifying. So it was worth it, and thanks for coming along on the journey. Bless you. Shalom.